2 more back. That's investment, okay? But that he had received one, went and dug in the earth and hid his Lord's money. After a long, now he went and dug in the dirt. That's what I was telling you guys, in the earth, and he hid the Lord's money. See, because as we give our talents to the Lord, and the Lord prospers us, you know, and cause us to increase, then we don't take that money and put it on ourselves, you know, and there's a balance there. You know, you don't indulge in all, oh wow, I'm going to go buy me some coat purses and going to, you know, you give back to the kingdom. You know, I want to see athletes give to the kingdom of God. We give them charitable program, but what about giving to local pastors? You know, local pastors are very instrumental within the communities. It's, you know, a lot of them. I know a pastor, Pastor McGill. He's out there fighting against Flockham, the drug that people are taking and losing their mind. You know, and so there are pastors who are out there helping people and families be restored and get back together, and counseling and counseling service. We'll take another break, commercial break here. Counseling service like Donna F. Davis. She's packed out now, so I'd like to thank you guys for supporting Donna Davis. She's a good Christian woman, and I can just tell that. But she has a heart for people, and so her service is already packed out. So she may have a referral for you, but see, that's how good God is with my IKConnection system. I can pack out your company, I can help you, and I'd like to take another commercial break and thank Golden Crest. This is one of my favorite restaurants, and I eat there a lot. And this is Jamaican restaurants. Compliment to the Jamaican people of my father. Thank you so much. And now you can go pick up some sport clips there. And they actually have Carl Springs is giving free haircuts, free upgrades at Sports Clips. So a lot of good things going on. You know, I really feel good. Yesterday, I went into the hair store, and I was able to give the 1 week free for LA Fitness with Max. And now all the women in LA Fitness, whoever worked there, he's like, hey, Dr. Bailey, we have more, we have some more specials. And so they're constantly trying to get me in on the specials and stuff. So there are a lot of specials during this holiday season at LA Fitness. Okay, again, I go to the one in Cypress Creek, but we have a connection with all of the LA Fitness. All you have to do is say IKConnection, and they will bless you. Okay, so a long time the Lord, those servants cometh and reckon with them. Okay, let's see. But he that had received one, let's go. Okay, after a long time, the Lord of those servants, and I'm on Matthew 25:19. The Lord of those servants cometh and reckoned with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came, he brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou delivered unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained, mathematical figure, I've gained. 5 plus 5, I've got 10. Okay? I have gained besides them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter you into the joy of the Lord. I'll make you ruler over many things. Enter you in the joy of the Lord. Now, he also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents besides them. His Lord said unto him, well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of the Lord. See? Now there he which, now we're on Matthew 25, verse 24, it says, then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where they have not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid the talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is nigh. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knowest that I reap where I sowed not, and gathered where I have not strawed. Thou art therefore have put my money to the exchanger, and then at my coming I shall have received my own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which had 10 talents. For to every one that has shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that has not shall be taken away even that which he has. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now I said, you know what? This happened actually. I was saying, Lord, you know what? Sometimes, you know, as you have lived a good life and you've sown and you see other people coming and they reaping your harvest of what you've actually sown. You know, I thought that for a long time with IKConnection. You know, I said, Lord, I go meet with these people and they love it, and we're gonna give me just 90 days. Well, the supernatural power of the Lord is on IKConnection, and so it doesn't take me 90 days or 3 months to actually do your system, put your advertisement or promote you. It only takes one to click. You know, today, and I really appreciate the goods at my church. She came up to me today and she said, "Hey, I'm gonna put that on Facebook for you." She put that thing on Facebook. All I did is make one click, a few clicks, maybe one. And that flyer was all over the world. I literally had people calling my phone and say, "Okay, who are you?" I said, "Hey, how are you?" I said, I'm Dr. Billy. My church is Jesus People Proclaim. I said, the goods, you know, told my pastor was. I said, "Hey, look, and the goods are over the youth meeting. We're going to have a big youth meeting there at Jesus People on December 18th at 7:30. And they said, "Okay, thank you." And I said, "Bring all the children you can bring." So people respond to me right away. Got a call from a teacher. They say, "Hey, this is good." Respond right away. So that's how you can invite people to come to your church, to your events, and simultaneous supernatural fast. And that's what I actually do at IKConnection. And you know, and I really work hard for people who I know not trying to pimp me out. You know, it's all about the money. And because this is not all about the money, but I need money because I have to keep my internet on. You know, I'm out on the FML, and I'm healing, and you know, I just got to get things together in my body. And so I felt good yesterday. I was able to walk again. You know, and that was good. That was a big plus. So anyway, so we see here that sometimes people, he assumed that other people was going to reap what he sowed. But see, you shouldn't assume that, okay? Which sometimes that does happen. But the responsibility for him and between the master was that you should at least try to invest the talent that you had. You know, try. Don't assume what's going to happen if you give. Even the tithe and offering and giving in the house of the Lord. So people are reluctant. You know, people are reluctant because they're saying, you know, I don't like when people say, "Well, Creflo Dollar buying a jet." I hope he buy an airport. And I have a testimony. You know, I was believing God for my own pastors to have a jet and a mansion in the back of their yard. And I was just calling it airports. And do you know it's going to be an airport in Boca Raton, Florida? They're building an airport right off of 95 and Glades Road. I can see an airport, a private airport coming to Boca. And I saw that airport. I said, "Yay! Pastor Billy and Private Citizen is going to have a private jet one day, and they're going to be able to fly out from the airport." So you got to have faith to believe, because you need the men and women of God, especially as apostolic and prophetics, to go coming back to the house of the Lord and being accepted by the house of the Lord. You need them to be on an airplane, and you need to be on jets. You know, who want? I'm not saying those pastors you take from the flock, and your flock is hurting and you have nothing to give them. I'm saying the whole flock is so prosperous and so powerful that you can put your pastors in a mansion and make sure his 5 kids are taken care of, and they fly off in a jet in the back of the yard. And they connected with all the airports, the private airports and the larger airports. That's beautiful, because why? You're getting the gospel out as soon as possible. Why? Because there's an urgency for us to preach the gospel. Okay? So you don't want to take your talents, and you don't want to take your money, your increase that God has given you, and you don't want to consume it upon yourself. You're not invested in anything. You know, IKConnection Powerhouse System has been, I worked all for 21 years for the school board, and that's how I've invested in the IKConnection Powerhouse System. And so I expect it to yield fruit. So when I see the fruit is being, you know, it's being multiplied, it's aptitude, you know, the aptitude of it is increasing. You know, I can see it because this stuff is electronic. You know, woe to people who say it's fake. What? Excuse me? It's electronic. It's always like the Holy Spirit. You don't see it. It's the wind, like the wind blowing. But electronics is that way. So you have to be an engineer. You have to be someone of a computer, have a computer background of knowledge to understand what I'm doing and how it works. I tell you what, the goods are going to be excited about that that youth meeting that they're going to have on December 18th. And so this is how you can get the word out quick. I get the word out fast, you know, and minister to people and see people giving their talents and their hearts, but their hearts and their talents back to the Lord. So athletes should take your abilities and give them back to the Lord. Give it back to God. You know, He gave it to you. So just like this good master, He gave it to the servant. He gave it to them to use it. But when He gave it to you, He expected you to give it, you know, to multiply in it, to increase in it. The one who had 5 came back with 10. You know, 5 more plus 5 plus 5 is 10. So he came back with more. So athletes, you're retiring. Kobe Bryant, you're retiring. Now give back to the kids. Go back to your community. Give back to the community. I thank God for Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, when he won that money from the grocery store, he went and gave it back to Chicago, to his community. You know, where the Miami Heat? Miami Heat. You should be all over these neighborhoods. Y'all, the Florida Panthers, the hockey players, Florida Panthers, the Marlins should be all over this neighborhood, crossing barriers of racism and all that stuff. We should be past that, and we should be trying to reach these little boys and girls, you know, even gender equity. We should be crossing it past that. We should be reaching these kids. Some of these kids don't have mothers and fathers at home like they used to, but they have talents, they have gifting. We should be out there because they respect and they honor athletes. You know, when we were in a recession and everything was down, famine hit, I mean, you know it's famine when teachers lose their job, police officers lose their job, and firemen losing their job. Those are kind of key jobs where people go to school for, you know, to get a good quality education and come back and feel like they're going to have good health insurance and, you know, a good life in those systems. And so these people, we were losing our jobs and still are losing our jobs. And so the recession came, so I was like, wow, the recession. But I guarantee you one thing, Miami Heat was still packing out the gym. LeBron James and all those guys was packing the gym out. Wayne, you know, they were packing that gym out, see? You all still went to the games. You still packed out. You still went to the Marlins. You still went to Florida Panthers. And you supported the athletes. So in return, you know, I said to myself, I said, you know what? If athletes have that type of ability on the course and in the arenas, on the fields, what would happen if the athletes came out of the community and came up against Flocka? What would happen if the athletes came out of the community and stood up against homosexuality, even, lesbian, whatever? I'm just saying. What if they came out and just said, you know what, we're going to help out where our strengths are and where we can help out? What if you came out and helped the local pastors, you know, build safe havens for people to come to? good pastors. You know, there's some good pastors out there who are really doing this thing to the best of their ability. And and not many people support the local church. And we need to support the local church and stop saying we don't go to the local church, because the sisters in the church need a man of God. And then guess what? There are no man of God in the church. We need men to come back to the body. That's a big talent. That's the head of the wife. And they're not even going to church. Why? Because you don't agree with the pastor. No, you can always remember that. That's the pastor's vision. That's his church, and that's it. That's his wife, and he has 5 children, or he has 3 children, whatever. But that's his vision, and you have to get in there and get along his vision. And then as you get along with his vision, then the Ray's vision come out, then the Southern's vision come out, you know, and then Tim and his wife, their visions come out, and then everybody's visions coming out of that one. You know, I could build a module with that, what I just said, you know, because in our church we have the pastor, Billy, Prophet Cynthia, then we have 3 other pastors under them, and then you have the prophets, and then, you know, so see, I'm mathematical because I have an MBA degree from University of Phoenix. So when I read it, I can see the math in it, or I can see a modular in it. So you see, you build that diagram, that modular there in your local church, and everybody's prospering because your head is prospering. You know, they're not flying out in a jet, and the women in church and the men, you know, nobody can eat and people struggling. No, they flying out in a jet because everybody in the body doing good, so they all giving their talents to the men and women of God so it can help them build and do it sweatless, fly in and out. I said, boy, God is answering our prayers. I said, Pastor Billy and Prophet Cynthia flying out all over within days and weeks now, flying everywhere and preaching and ministering the gospel. I'm like, look at this, Lord, you guys are so good. It works. And see, my whole goal is that everybody, people will buy the IKConnection system and put it in your local church and put it in your arena, put it in your sports day, put it in your store. You know, everybody have one. Don't come and try to pimp me out and steal it. You know, like I said before, be a blessing. At least give a donation. You know, so all athletes, we should give our talents back to the Lord. You know, and I was going to read Romans 6 and 26. Romans 6 verse 23 says, "For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ our Lord." See, the wages of sin. So you're out there sinning, you plunk sowing, just like the talent guy. Oh, I had to sin because I had to do this. You know, you're out there sinning, you're sowing bad seeds, and then, you know, your wages, you see, of, okay, when the Lord comes and you stand before the Father and you say, He's going to say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." You want him to say, "Into eternal life." You don't want the Lord to say, "Woe unto you, because you didn't even feed the least of my brother, and you were rich." And remember how you laughed at Johnny because he was stink? You didn't give him no clothes, you didn't give him no perfume, you didn't do their hair, and you had your hair all nice, and you just looked right past him, and you didn't even do anything to try to help him. You know? That's how the Lord's going to judge us, guys. He's going to judge us. So we're going to have to really check our hearts and be able to give our talents, our operations, you know, things that we're doing back to the Lord. You know, I thank God, like I said, I love to give. If I don't have money, I'll give my time. This right here, the IKConnection is amazing. I can get people to be a blessing to you and turn money to you and your events and what you're doing. You see, until the Lord release me to go to that other level where I'm going out and I'm ministering and flying and doing other stuff like that. But right now, the Lord has me where I could fly other people places, you know, with how He set up the database with the IKConnection. So that was my way of giving my talents back to the Lord. So I'm asking people to go to www.icwww.com and, you know, give a donation. Again, that's www.icwww.com. That is my website, and I want to build this system so effectively, you know, that again, I will have catalogs like for athletes, you know, for lawyers, for doctors, for bankers, for people in all walks of life.